Hello and welcome. And there's my voice. I haven't used it for a while because I'm in isolation, and maybe you are too. And this is a really great way for us to connect with each other. So I see that I'm a little bit ahead of myself, so there's nobody here yet. So if you're watching on the video replay, I would encourage you, please like and follow this page so that you know when I'm going to be back. And also, when you get a chance, head over to joleath.com, spelt the way it's spelt at the top of this page, and sign up for my newsletter. I promise not to bombard you with hundreds or dozens of emails. 2 or 3 a month is about as many as I'm usually sending out. And that way, when we've stopped being locked into specific places, you can find out where I've gone a-wandering, because I go pop up in assorted retail spaces around. At the moment, it's for the last year or so, it's been mostly around Ottawa and Wakefield in Western Quebec and Manotick. I'm hoping that as time goes by and we get to travel again, I am hoping to take that further afield. Certainly hoping that I will get a chance to wander around in Ontario. So the way to keep track of where that's going to happen would be my newsletter. So joleath.com, and there's a please sign me up button, and that will do its job. So I see people coming in. Hello, welcome. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to draw a card for you. I am using the deck, The Wisdom of the Garden Path, which is a deck I'm particularly proud of. I have decided that my theme for today's readings, my intention, is going to be around understanding priorities, making priorities, choosing which activities have precedent over other needs and desires and just things on our to-do list. We're living in such peculiar times, and there's in some quarters there's suggestion that if you're not doing a whole lot of incredible stuff, then you're wasting your time. I don't think that's true. I think a lot of us need the rest and the pause and the chance to just be instead of all the time doing. And that's a thing too. Put it on the list so you can cross it off at the end of the day if you have had a chance to just be. Today I'm hoping that we can find some cards that help to identify priorities, things that Spirit wants us to be paying attention to. And I'm thinking that if nobody says they're wanting a reading, hello Lori, hey, how you doing? Welcome. Good to have you here. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to draw a card specifically for you. Let me pick up the card that has volunteered to be the community reading. Oops. Oh, interesting. Okay, I'll talk about that a little later. Okay, hello back to you, Lori. Okay. So, I don't know if good means yes, pick a card, or don't pick a card. I'm good, I don't need it. So let me know. let me know if it's a clear yes that you do want a card. Okay, there we go. Oh, you got me so excited I dropped the cards. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Facing the screen. All right. So I am going to choose a card for Lori. I don't know if you were here in time for me to say my intention today is around finding priorities, finding a place that we can begin to put some energy in order to move ourselves forward to what's next. So a priority, an area where your energy can benefit your movement forward. This is for Lori. Oh, okay, it's in here. It's this one for Lori. Oh, nice. This is the optimism card. Number 16, which is that combination of your core identity, who you are at the very center of yourself, combined with the 6, which is the service and the responsibility that you meet in the world, and they're coming together as the teacher. Number 7 is always a teacher in one way or another, and frequently it's asking you to be a teacher. Also, it is offering you some teachings. So I think it's worth remembering that how we're conducting ourselves all day, every day, whether we're in the house or out at work or doing things online, we're setting an example of what it looks like to be awake and aware and engaged with the world. And whatever it is that you are modeling for the people who see you, you have cause for optimism that you are setting an admirable example. You can be optimistic that people who see you are uplifted by what they're seeing. They're seeing something that they maybe would emulate. There's certainly a flavor of good feeling coming out of it, the optimism. And as a priority, if you're not always feeling optimistic about everything, this is a reminder that maybe today the sink full of dishes is something that you find depressing and dragging you down. But when you look ahead 6 months, when you look ahead even a week, that will have resolved and better things are on their way. So long-term optimism is a really nice energy, I think. That's a good one. All right. So let me know in the comments if that makes sense to you, and if not, we can look for some clarity. Anybody else who has come in, please let me know if you'd like me to draw a card for you. So glad you're here. I love these sessions. I really do. I'm very happy being alone. I'm not very happy not doing my work. That's a thing. So the chance to be drawing cards and seeing where they fit in people's lives makes me very happy. Really, really does. MJ Glass, hello. Oh, well, I'm sorry that you're not on your flight. I know this was going to be an enormously a powerful and significant trip, and that you are going to get to glom into some amazing energies at wonderful events in the UK, and I'm sorry that that's disrupted. If you'd like me to draw a card for you, let me know in the comments. And you're so welcome, Laurie. Absolutely. This is yes, we're living in such interesting times, in such The word unprecedented, it's unprecedented how much the word unprecedented is being used. And I guess it's because there really isn't another word to label what is going on with us. It's quite something. I love the idea that you're designing china cabinets, MJ Glass. I think that's rather lovely. There's that's a wonderful creative outlet. Any kind of design is a way to impose yourself. Yes, I will draw a card for MJ. And hello, Emerentiana. Is that right? Emerentiana. Let me know if you would like a card. I'm going to draw now for MJ Glass. I'm drawing for just signposts of where to be prioritizing, where to put our energy, where to focus in the next little while, in the short term. Okay, this is the card I get for MJ Glass. Oh, interesting. So it's number 18, which is of course a 9, and about completion and wholeness and the holistic connection between things. Meaning, when we have time, to plant crops like barley, we have time to contemplate the meaning of life and what it is to be human, what this experience is all about. And I think in your situation, there's maybe a chance, MJ Glass, around finding that quiet, finding that core of your own deep wisdom, and looking at the meaning behind both the plan for the trip and your responses and your responses to the cancellation of the trip, your decisions to rebook it, which I know last time I talked to you, you were talking about. So making the priority, understand the meaning of it all within the context of your life on a larger scale. I think maybe that's what that's about. The 8, the 18, the 1 is your core identity. The 8 is that cosmic flow of energy coming in, keeping balance, and they're adding up to a holistic 9. So I think maybe that makes some sense. I don't know if you're using this time for any kind of meditation. I know you've got trees that you love, whether you have the chance to go out and hug them and ask some questions and connect with that deep interconnected wisdom of all of life. Okay, Emerentiana, I don't identify as a medium. I'm not. I do not claim that I can possibly get a message from your boyfriend. What I can say is that I will allow synchronicity to pick you a card around the priorities of where you can put your energy right now, and what can be a benefit to you as you here, as you're adapting to your new life conditions. It's this one. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's asking you to pay attention, and if this is about the energy that hey Sydney, this is for Marentiana. Paying attention to the signals that are there. I don't know if you've got clocks that have stopped, if you've got things falling off shelves, if you've got, there are lots and lots of ways that people who've recently made their transition are able to make small adjustments in the physical world. So paying attention is what I'm getting as your priority. It's not for somebody else, or it's certainly not for me to bring any messages. What is there is that you are able to discern them. That the two is about the relationship between two things, two people, two situations. The nine is holistic energy where everything is connected. They add up to an 11, which the one and one add up to a two again. So the relationship is still what is at the very core of what you're being told here. So I started with an intention to identify priorities for people. And what I'm seeing is that Spirit is saying you can make the choice to make paying attention your priority, rather than asking other people, rather than looking for other ways of doing it. Find a way to be quiet, find a way to get into your core and listen for what your boyfriend is saying to you. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it does. All right, so let me know if you're looking for something more there. Okay, MJ, completions related to clearing away items before I travel. Friday is your birthday and the start of a new cycle. I know I have your birthday recorded here. Friday is May 1st. Okay. All right, Emerantiana, I'm delighted that makes sense, and I'd love for you to come back. Let me know how things go, or get a hold of me. Either you can message me from this page, or you can go to my website at joleath.com, and through the Contact Us page, there's email address that you can use there too. Because although as I say, I'm absolutely not a medium, I am a good a good guide for you in terms of finding your own connection. So that would be good. Yes, please do message me, and we can talk about doing something going forward. Okay, so MJ, you're looking for further. I already promised Sydney that I would draw, so this is for Sydney, who hasn't had a card yet. Sydney, we're talking about priorities. We're talking about where we're going to put our energy in this next little while, given that we all totally have permission to just be and not be doing. But this, whoops. Oh, that's interesting. There's two sticking together. And I don't know. My eyes are closed. I'm not seeing them. For Sydney, I'm getting that it's this one, but we'll maybe look at the other one in a minute. All right, this is nice. Sydney, the priority for you to put your energy into the concept of abundance. So yourself and the teacher coming together as in a place of balance and symmetry, fairness and justice. I don't recognize your name. I don't have any history of what situation you're with. I would think this doesn't have to be about financial abundance. Never. Abundance is never about only finances. It can be. It's much more likely to be about the support and the respect and the friendships and the love and those unseeable, valuable things that make our lives worth living. You are conceivably being taught something right now, and maybe that's part of the lesson. Maybe you're feeling financially deprived and you're not paying attention to how much prosperity you actually have in your life, in the things that make the difference. There's a lovely meme that goes around. It was a quote from one of our First Nations leaders, I think out west, that maybe when the last of the water and the food is all gone, we'll understand that we can't eat money. And maybe this is your time for learning about that. The 1 and 7 added together comes out at that flow, and allowing the flow, allowing the love and the friendship and the caring that is around you and you're maybe not seeing, allowing that to flow, getting conscious of it, will bring you abundances. And it sometimes it's as literal as someone you know can give you a job or can find you a income creating activity that you hadn't considered before. But if you're not appreciating the friendship and reaching out and participating in that partnership, then you wouldn't be on their list of possible employees, or however that works out. So that's how I would interpret that. Let me know in the comments if that makes sense, if there's more that you would like to know about that. Hello, Scott. It's lovely to see you coming in. I think you're on an early lunch. Very nice. Let me know if you would like me. Oh, Sydney, the other card that we drew. Okay, it's a 7 as well, or the one that stuck. 2 and the 5. So it's a relationship and it's expansion and it's coming together in teaching you. And it's something to celebrate, which is not unlike abundance. So I think those two go together, and I feel, looking at that, I feel as though I've interpreted that as well as possible. It does make sense. Good. All right, I'm really glad, Sydney. Thank you. Good. Hello, yes, please, Scott. So good to see you. I hope I'm going to actually see you in body this week. Maybe not. At a suitable distance, of course. Okay, so this is for Scott. You just got here. We're talking today about setting priorities. While our lives are a really peculiar shape, it's there is no compunction for a lot of doing. There certainly is room for people who are usually doing to enjoy some being. And so the intention of the card today is to find a place where energy can be directed during that unproductive time, if that makes any sense. Okay, for Scott. Here, just this one. Oh, okay. So the card is keeping still. Keeping still. I guess there's a certain amount of same going on in your life, and what I know of it and what I've heard from you this morning, I think that makes a lot of sense. The two is about relationship. You've got two of them coming together into that practical 4, that very stolid, stable energy, which is wonderful when it's about creating a foundation. I think in terms of how you're spending your time, that's probably stultifying, and there's maybe a feeling of being stuck. You can't move forward, and even though you're laying the foundation for what will come when you can move forward, think I think that the relationships, in terms of, I do see this in terms of your career, and this is in terms of the people you serve, in terms of the people that you work with, that there is a stuckness that that probably isn't terribly comfortable, but it is what it is. Hello, Uma. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to draw a card for you. And Scott, you can let me know if that makes sense. I know that in your personal life, certainly this keeping still, everybody's got some aspect of keeping still, whether they're working from home, whether they're working really long shifts in frontline jobs. There's a sort of ungrowing flavor to life at the moment. So, okay, Umar, we will see when I draw a card which interpretation it is. Umar, you're looking for a priority around either financial or romantic energy, which is okay, a card has jumped out, Umar, while I'm talking about it, so I have to assume that's the one. All right, it says release. Release. So if this is about financial, I would say it's to tell you to allow the money to flow. It can't flow in if it isn't flowing out. Don't, while we're clutching things to our bosoms, we can't receive anything new. So I think if and actually, I mean, that applies to romance as well, if that's one of your priorities. Um, the oh, hello, Lorette. How lovely to see you. Umar, we're still with you. 2 is about relationships, and 1 is about your central identity, and they're coming together. The 3 is a really creative number. It's where inspiration comes into the physical world. It's where these apples have lost their ability to serve us the way we want fruity apples to feed us, but they're now releasing everything about themselves into the earth in order to nourish the roots of the tree. So this card is giving you the idea that going forward may not be the same as you had expected, but releasing the expectations, releasing the preconceived ideas that you've had, and allowing inspiration to come through you, and then take inspired action is going to be successful. And I think in either in either field, you know where your priorities are. Okay, you're saying that's interesting. That's good. I'm glad. Let it be so. All right. And I'm going to shuffle. Lorette, I'm so happy to see you here. Dana Marie, I see that you've come in, but you haven't asked for a card yet. Let me know in the comments if you would like to. And I will absolutely do that. And Kathy. So yes, Lorette, that's lovely. Gosh, I haven't heard from you in so long. I hope that you are happy and well. While you're here, Lorette, like and follow this page, and you'll at least connect with a little bit. And if you head to my website, joleath.com, it's spelt on this page. I do have a newsletter that goes out a couple times a month. Okay, so for Lorette, We've been talking about priorities, what area of life our energy is while we're just being, while we get away from trying to be productive. For the rat. This is the card. Oh, this is nice. All right, so we have goldenrod. This is the empathy card. I don't know how your the chakra, solar plexus chakra, is yellow like this, and that seat of how we view ourselves, how we celebrate ourselves, how we talk to ourselves, is a really important part of how we empathize with other people. It's hard to be kind to other people if we're not being kind to ourselves, and this card is a reminder that the 11 is about two individuals coming together in a relationship. A lot of numerology, they don't add up these ones. They leave the 11 as one of the magic numbers, and it's very powerful as such. And empathy is an incredibly powerful human ability. And in terms of a priority of around where to be putting your energy at this time when life is so disrupted, it may be that you're being asked to feel some empathy for the face in the mirror. Very often relationship issues are so deeply seated in ourselves, and I see you saying that you're usually busy. Being kind to yourself, giving yourself some time to take advantage of the slowdown in the rest of the world might be part of it. Being kind to yourself, being more centered, perhaps, in that relationship with yourself. There's it's not about neglecting anybody else. The grandchildren will have a centered grandma. That's a perfectly good thing to have. But for you, in terms of how you are relating to yourself and then to other people, because when you're kind to yourself, there's a lot more kindness within you to pass along. All right, I hope that makes sense. I hope that does. Kathy, my cousin, my friend, it's so good to see you. I would love for you to, I'd love to draw you a card. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to do that. So good. I have decided that during May, I'm going to continue Tuesdays at 11. The Fridays at 2 Eastern Time are, I have said those are going to go on until the end of the lock-in. And Tuesdays at 11, I seem to be having lots of people come see me, and I really like that. It is, I am in the world to be a numerologist, and as much as I enjoy the solitude and the isolation of these times, I really do need to be doing my work. So this is a great way that you let me do that, and let me, of course, let you know that I am available for FaceTime and the Facebook video connection, and I've learned to use Zoom. I have found some. Okay, Kathy, I see the yes, please. Hello, Rob. Hello, Shelley. Let me know in the comments if you would like a card. All right. So this is for Kathy, my cousin. I love saying that, just for the record, because, you know. This one is for Kathy. Ooh, Kathy. Nice. Powerful, powerful card. This is the card of self-awareness. So asking for a priority of where to put our energy during these strange and wonderful times when we're not being productive. This is about working on connecting with your true nature, your deep nature, the who you are underneath the performance, right? Because we're accustomed to living a life that's all about doing and doing and being the person other people need us to be. Right now, hopefully we have the time and space and the energy, it's not about any other kind of production, but a chance to just be and to reflect who it is that you are. Who is the energy of Kathy that is immortal and eternal and has come to the earth to have a human experience. The one is the central identity, the zero is the totality of all things in the cosmos, and they add up together to be that one, to be that you. And yeah, I love this card. It's a time of the green strip puts this in the growing and blossoming phase of our soul development. There's a lot of growth that has come before, and now you're stepping into a personal expansion. So I think that's absolutely gorgeous. I really, really like that. And I hope it makes sense to you. And I hope it's something that you do have time to connect with that. All right. I see Shelley, I see Rab, I sound like Romper Room. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to draw a card for you. And Lorette, I love it that you're getting back to reading. I don't get news of you. I don't know if you've got a newsletter. You can sign up for mine. I will absolutely sign up for yours. I assume you're still in Nova Scotia. I'm so sorry about what's going on there. I did wear red when I did my Friday live the other day. It felt incredibly important to me. It's profound energy that we're getting out of Nova Scotia at this time. All right, Rab, my cousin. Love saying that. It does make sense. Thank you, thank you, Kathy. Oh, I like that. I think it's you who comes on here and makes me emotional. When you're here, I get verklempt. Yes, I'll blame you for that because my emotions aren't mine at all. I love that you're here. I thank you. I appreciate you so much. And Shelley, you never ever speak. Okay. So in the absence of anybody saying anything, when I started out, I think this jumped out. I can't remember now, but I think it did. When I was talking about making a reading for the community, so for people who are here and not asking, and for people who are watching on the video replay, the card that came out, in terms of priority of where we put our energy during this unproductive time, or different time, and as we choose to be rather than do, came up is discernment. And this is a mock orange. It performs as though it's an orange and tries to fool the insects and birds and flower shops that come by. the need to look at what we're seeing and see whether or not it is what it says it is, which is actually a rather prime energy for what we're going through. I'm seeing a lot of posts about, you know, talking of returning to normal. Do we want the same normal? Do we want to go back, or should we be going forward a little differently? So taking time while we have time to discern what is important to us, what is not important to us, what can we let go of. The one is that central identity, the three is the inspiration, and it's coming together in that solid four. We're in a 4 year, we're coming to the end of a 4 month, that four energy that is the base on which we will build our future. So that's a really, really perfect card for that that kind of thing. MJ Glass, yes, it's good you speak up because I had forgotten. I got waylaid with the other people coming in fresh, and I am going to draw a card for your birthday, which I think is May the 1st. Is that what we established? So on May the 1st, as your cycle turns, is that, I don't remember. Well, 1st of May. 1st of May is 5 in a 4 year. Okay, so yes, you are in the beginning of a cycle. You're switching from one cycle to another. Okay, so for MJ's birthday, oh, well, no surprise here. Complexity, relationships, inspiration, and adding together into expansion. So this isn't going to be a simplistic cycle for you. I think you could have predicted that. You're in a time of needing to be quiet and look at all the different directions that things could go, and in keeping with today's intention, it's asking you to decide what your priorities are. There's so much potential. It's very, very complex, and ultimately you are in charge of which way it's going. There's lots of junction points. You can choose to be heading from left to right, and then come to a place where you can choose to go. You can go up or you can go down. So, as with all things in human life, we are individually responsible for our own choices and for our own outcomes. Setting the expectation, setting your own intention for where you want to go is not, it's not going to be easy. This isn't toss a coin for the next year of life. This is a get serious, get, and maybe journaling will help. Maybe if you do some free journaling and just allow stream of consciousness onto the page, it will help you to untangle, because when you go back and read it, you'll see where there are themes, you'll see where there's repeated ideas. But yeah, don't look for it to be easy. I think that's a big part of what this card is saying. It would be lovely if somebody else would just say, do this, do that, and everything will be fine. I don't know that you're a terribly obedient person, MJ. So even if I told you something, that wouldn't be the end of it. This is about connecting with your own power, connecting with your own wisdom, and setting your own priority for where you want to go with this next year. Okay, I hope that answers your question. All right, so Scott making snide remarks. I love you very much. And I'm glad Kathy made sense. Rob, are you still here? Michelle, are you still here? I'm showing eyeballs, but I can't determine who is what, who's here, who's gone. Oh my. Okay. So where are we at? We still have a few minutes. I'm going to, oh, okay. Wow, MJ. All right. I'm glad that's wowing you. I hope you're not offended that I said you weren't obedient, but I think you're good with that. I have looked at the numbers and looked at the readings, and I have decided that Fridays at 2 definitely going to continue until the end of the lock-in. And I'm adding Tuesdays at 11. I'm going to stabilize that time. I've been sort of wandering all around the clock and a little bit around the week. And I'm liking this one. Tuesday at 11 works for me, and it seems to be working for a lot of you. So I'm going to keep that up. Also on the weekend, not this coming weekend, but the weekend when it's Mother's Day, I think that's like the 8th and 9th, or the 9th and 10th, the Saturday and Sunday anyway. I am planning to be involved with an online event called Living La Vida Lockdown, which is not something I came up with, but it rather tickles me. So I will be talking about that in these sessions, and I would imagine I will have a newsletter going out before that happens. You can get the details of it. It is a Facebook event, so you if you can be here, you can be at that one too. Yes. Yes, MJ. I think a bit of a rebel is and maybe even a renegade. Um, and yes, that list on the fridge, MJ. You can't start them all tomorrow morning. You have to set priorities, and that's only you can do that. And maybe I know that you're a journaler, so maybe doing some pro and con lists or something like that will help you find your focus and figure out. And sometimes, priorities are not negotiable. If you need to paint the ceiling, it's a really good idea not to move the furniture in before you do that, because that way lies foolishness. So getting clear about what needs to come first and figuring out the sequence might be part of untangling that complexity that you're facing this year. Okay, what? Shelley and Rob, you still haven't spoken up. I don't know who else is here. I think, Scott, you just stay and support me all the time, don't you? I really appreciate that. And I've got names, but I don't have little green dots on things, so I can't tell who else is here. If I have missed you as I scroll through these, there are some names. I did read for Umar, I know. Dana Marie, are you still here? You haven't spoken up, and maybe you're just accepting the discernment card as being for you, and where it's where this is an individual reading rather than I mean, it is the community reading, but if you're here and you're taking this to be yours, then having a look at what is around you and what you are responding to, and then pausing to examine, make sure that what you're responding to is what is really there. There's ultimately, we're in such interesting times, and there are telephone and email scams going around saying, click here and enter your banking information, and we will send you a COVID-19 relief check or whatever. Absolute scam, just trying to steal your information for your bank account. That kind of energy, that misrepresentation happens in a lot of different areas of life. Maybe not as blatant as that, but there are things going on. There's the neighbor who says they're a friend, and then they leave their vehicle pumping exhaust into your bedroom window or whatever, outside your bedroom window. The person that has happened to may or may not see this. And yes, MJ, finding that daily rhythm, that is really good. This is an energy that is out there in society, in community, and also in our individual lives. So getting to that place, finding that that stability, that central knowing. The four that this adds up to is that solid, stolid, reliable, dependable energy. And we each need to be able to get centered in our own selves, in our own knowing, in our own responses and reactions, so that we can tell when we're in alignment. We know when somebody's telling us a lie. We know when something is just not right. We can spot what's not in alignment. And that's what this card is calling us to do, to be with ourselves, our core heart, knowledge, entity, soul, what we are, combined with that inspired three, the creative energy that flows through us from the cosmos, and they come together and they make this really practical ability to see what's in front of us and to interpret it appropriately. So that's a really good card, and I'll have to look at the video, but I think it jumped out when I talked about community cards, so that was the one we were supposed to have for today. Okay, MJ, getting clear and untangling. Good, I'm glad that makes sense. Yes, I understand the need for a daily rhythm. I'm a person, if I don't impose structure on my time, it just kind of vanishes and nothing gets done. So I have a schedule and a timetable, and it works for me. So at the moment, Fridays at 2 and Tuesdays at 11, my schedule puts me right here. And I would love to see you all, and I had one session a little while ago where someone who is a regular client, she came in and tagged a whole bunch of her friends, and they came in and had readings, and we had a wonderful time together. So anytime you feel like doing that, I'd be delighted to meet your friends. I certainly would be delighted to hear from you. You can message me through this page, or you can sign up for my newsletter on my website, joleath.com, or you can hit the contact me tab on the website, and it has email address and I don't know what else. It has this page, it has maybe my LinkedIn, which is not necessarily vital, and it has my Twitter handle, which if you're not following me on Twitter, I don't understand why. I thought you loved me. I do tweet twice a day, sometimes something really sensible, sometimes a promotion to please come join this. And very often it's things lifted out from my blog, the things that are my priority in the moment. So I would love to share that with you any time. I see I've got messages coming in a different place. Just want to make sure Oops. All right. No, everything is good there. Sometimes, yes, people who are here and not talking to me, if you come out of full screen, you will find the comment box. Evidently, it disappears in some browsers when you're on full screen. So if that's what's been stopping you from asking for a card, then that's a thing. And evidently there is a bit of a delay between when you type and when I read, so please don't think that I'm ignoring you. We have all right, so my clock says I have 5 more minutes that I've promised to be here. Sometimes it has been my experience that new people come in at the 3-minute mark, and I end up staying for an extra quarter of an hour, and that's perfectly fine. I will keep being here until I'm not needed here by anybody anymore. I'm noticing I'm not used to talking. The isolation, I love it, I enjoy it, and I realize I don't very much talk to anybody. A little bit in Zoom, but mostly this is and I don't talk for an hour in Zoom, usually. So I'm certainly feeling the impact of all this babbling. All right. So what else can I tell you? As soon as things change, I'm not going to say go back to normal because they won't necessarily. I will have decks of cards for sale. Probably not in a box like this. This was a template, and it's not looking practical for me to be using those boxes just yet. However, they will be in a suitable container, and they will be this deck of cards, and they will have the spider web on the label. I love the spider web. It's an image of industry and hard work, and of the amazing superiority of the natural world. Spiderweb, I did look it up if anybody's been following my waffling around. A steel rod the same diameter as a spider web thread. The spider web is 5 times stronger, which is really rather remarkable. So, all right, I love you too, Scott. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your presence, your support. Have a good afternoon. I know your work is I know you're stuck. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so the spider web is very much a part of the energy of this deck, the idea of the work and the strength and the intricacy which is physical life on Earth. It's part of what we're all working with, and it is a big part of I hope the energy that people can connect to when they're working with these cards. The myth of Arachne, who was cursed to become a spider and do her weaving for the rest of eternity in this way, and of course then gave gave her name to the arachnids that are still classified as such. Ah, Kathy. It's Kathy and Scott together. That's what makes me cry. That's the thing. My family here, my family there, being together in my presence. It just really makes me happy. Happy enough to cry. So I am saying thank you, Kathy, so much for being here. I'm always really happy to see you. I can't tell if Rab stayed or left. Rab and Shelley and Dana Marie all appeared to be here and then were not. But that being said, my eyeball count is quite high for the number of people who are actually engaged. All right, it is noon. My time is up. I'm thinking, Kathy, it's 4 in the afternoon. 5 in the afternoon. I don't even know what time it is in the UK. I'm thinking it's 4 hours, yes? Okay. All right. So as I'm shuffling, the card that jumps out is too late. So yes, the clock says noon. I am going to declare that anybody else is too late, and I am on my way. So thank you everybody for being here. If you've been watching the video, thank you so much for hanging in right to the very end. Please don't be a stranger. Friday at 2, I will be back right here, and I will look forward to seeing you and reading for you then. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kathy, for hanging in.